Hello everybody, welcome back. This is EonShiKeno. We're on to game number 2 between ThorZaIN, he's our red Terran player over here on the left side of Shattered Temple, and his opponent, OGSMC, the winner of last game, took ThorZaIN down on Zelnaga Caverns with some pretty nice play, mostly warp gates with a couple observers just scouting around the whole time. Some really nice warp gate play. Eventually got into some High Templar and DT. But I worked out pretty well. Did some pretty good defense against ThorZaIN's aggressive play with the stemmed Marines and Marauders. And I really think killing those two ghosts with the DT was extremely critical last game. Just killing those two ghosts that way, it really delayed ThorZaIN's attack. And I think MC just got really had a really good play there, killing those two ghosts before ThorZaIN had a chance to use them. So we'll see what both players are going to go with the playstyle in this game. Now this map is a little bit different than Zelnaga Caverns, of course, 4-player as opposed to 2. And we do have close air spawning position, so as you can see here, it's not that far just to jump right across here to your opponent's base. And it's so close that actually, I think during the beta even, you could just blink Stalker from here to here if you had vision. And I think they have patched that since then, but that was definitely something fun to do back in beta. So MC throwing up a gas here, pretty standard play, and ThorZaIN, same stuff over on this side of the map. Maybe we'll see some something different out of ThorZaIN. Maybe they'll go for some type of heli drop or Banshee play, considering it's such a close spawning position here between both players airwise. Not really quite sure with MC's playstyle on this type of a spawning position. Not sure if he's going to go for something standard like he would on any other map, or if he's actually has something special planned for this map in these spawning positions. Very possible. And this is the MLG version of the map. As of course you can see with these supply depots, there won't be any close spawning positions, so I'm actually think there shouldn't be any spawning positions in close. I don't think. We've got ThorZaIN scouting up there. I think MC isn't aware of that, but I don't think there's this close spawning position possible on this map, but out of habit he just scouts over there anyway. And we have ThorZaIN throwing up an expansion this early. 1 barracks expand, and he's probably going to throw down 2 more barracks here pretty soon at the same time. That's pretty much the standard play for that, and you're going to throw up some bunkers and try to defend it. Now it's going to come down to MC whether or not he wants to counter expand, or going for one type of one base play with some void rays, try and break him. That's definitely a possibility. We'll see what he's going to go with this game. Building up his Chrono Boost, getting that Stalker out. MC liking to just skip the Zealot and go straight for the Stalker. And there goes that first bunker. Going down here for ThorZaIN at the front. There we go. We get the 2 barracks going to go up. And this guy was repairing this guy, but he's all repaired, so he's just hanging out now. And he's going to go get some gas. Nope, just going to go back to mining. But we have 2 more barracks going to be thrown down here for ThorZaIN, get his production up and going. And MC going to go the safe route and just throw down an expansion and just try to catch up macro-wise. And I'm not sure if he actually scouted the expansion. Nope, he hasn't scouted the expansion yet, but he's going to see it here pretty soon. He's at least going to see the bunker. And he's going to be able to get a little bit of grass off here with the Stalker. Well, actually not anymore. He's actually going to get SCV kill. Yes, he does. Gets an SCV kill there. Gets kind of lucky hanging out front. But until he gets a Marauder out, this Stalker is just going to be a really nice thing to come in here and poke with, just to see what ThorZaIN is up to. So MC kind of has to assume right now that his opponent has expanded with the bunker. That's pretty much a safe assumption. He's going to try to come in here and poke, but he's going to try and feel his way. Actually, yep, going to sneak up in there. Not sure if he actually saw it yet. Nope, not yet, but I really like the positioning of this bunker far enough away that it won't allow the unit to come up and poke, because if it was back here further, they could poke up here, walk into it a little bit, take some shield damage, and then of course see the expansion. But since it's pushed up far enough, it's kind of denying that scouting information. So MC throwing up some more gateways and putting some pylons on the edges of his base just to make sure no drops are coming. And an SCV coming out and doing some scouting, and you're going to see, yes, the Stalker is still there, but it's nope, just a Stalker. Still only taking shield damage, so a good control there from MC. Now he's going to continue to double Chrono Boost out some probes, and that's going to allow him to get a pretty big lead in Harvesters, as you can see right there. It's 30 versus 20 already, but of course we do have the double mules for ThorZaIN, so that's going to help a little bit. And he's going to get a second kill with this SCV. Nope, not yet. ThorZaIN maybe just a little worried about some type of all-in. He just continues to poke out there with an SCV, and I gotta say, ThorZaIN's scouting the last game was just really good. He was all over the place, scouting for proxies, scouting everywhere for everything. Really nice scouting job there from both players. Both players definitely playing at a very top level. So no SCVs being produced here from ThorZaIN. Not quite sure what he's doing. Is he supply blocked? Or is he just going to go for some type of a really quick timing attack here? He stopped production. Maybe he stopped this a little while ago. I'm not quite sure, but hasn't produced any SCVs in a while. I think we're going to see ThorZaIN go for some timing attack here, just considering he hasn't started he hasn't made any SCVs in a long time. Now he's making SCVs. That's kind of odd. But a lot of sentries hanging out here in the front of his base, and ThorZaIN isn't aware of this. There's a pylon up there, so he's going to start bringing in some units, and it looks like, what are we up to? 3 gateways for MC, and it looks like we're going to have a clash of the Titans here at the entrance. Both players heading out. Now we're going to have a big fight. Guardian Shield's going to go up. He's going to pull some SCVs. MC's going to fall back. He doesn't want to fight him with the SCVs there. Maybe he's going to wait for another warp in. And he's going to fall back here to this pylon. And it looks like ThorZaIN is going to continue to chase him. And force field's going to go down. Nice force fields. Not too much of an overlap. And wow, cutting him off right there. Going to get a couple Marauders. Trading some Zealots for Marauders. Good trade there. And more force field's going to go down. Just kind of separate some units out. And it looks like MC is going to clean up here. He needs to keep those sentries alive as long as possible. Do not want to lose them. But it looks like he's actually going to lose them there. More Stalkers being warped in. And that fight is over right now. We can check the resources lost tab. Terran lost more resources there, so that fight actually turning out pretty well for MC. You can see the supply count, 39 versus 68. MC has just constantly been producing workers, as you can see here, 51 versus 23. I'm not quite sure why ThorZaIN stopped the SCV production, and still he hasn't produced any SCVs. He's just going for a big army. And MC just dealt with that handily. So MC with a huge economy lead right now. Wow, 30 Harvester lead. What is... I don't know whether ThorZaIN forgot to make SCVs for a long time, or if that was just part of his build, and he was just cutting SCVs to produce as many Marauders and Marines as possible, trying to go up for a good timing attack. But even with cutting so many SCVs, he just didn't do very well in that fight. At all. MC just did a really great job with those force fields and bringing reinforcements with that pylon. So now left with just 4 sentries. It looks like we're going to have another attack here from ThorZaIN, and I really don't see how we can get back in this game. He's just so far behind in the economy. 56 versus 29. He's got some more SCVs, and of course MC just saw that as he snuck right by there. It's not really sneaking at all, trying to sneak by, but MC's ready for that. He's positioning his units, got the Zealots up in the front, warping in some more Zealots, Stalkers in the back. He's going to throw down some really nice force fields to deal with this army count. We can check the army right now. Very close, actually, 1,800 versus 2,000, so pretty close there. And Colossus, Robotics Bay going to go up, and here we have the big attack from ThorZaIN, just poking in. Nope, going to throw down a scan. Does he like what he sees? Is he going to go for it? Looks like he's not going to go for it yet. He's going to wait. He does have stim. He does have concussive shells. We'll see what he's going to do with here. See if he's going to go in for an attack. Not yet. He's just going back and forth, back and forth. And more SCVs, more units coming up. It looks like he's going to actually go for the attack right now. MC has just so many Zealots. Look at all those Zealots he's brought into this fight. Oh, wow. Stimming. Getting behind that one force field. But there are just so many Zealots. I don't know if this is going to be... Oh, wow. Those are great force fields. Great force field. Those Zealots are just all up in the front. And ThorZaIN, I think waited just too long. He just gave MC so much time to make all those Zealots. And wow, this is just mopping it up right now. Look at the supply, 105 for MC, or actually 58 for ThorZaIN. And ThorZaIN, after that attack, has to realize that he is so far behind at this point. And even a Colossus showing up now. He's not even close to getting a Vikings out at this point. And I think once MC decides to go for a counterattack, that's going to be all she wrote. Let's check some upgrades out. And actually, no upgrades for MC yet. Just producing a bunch of units on 6 gateways. 1 robo facility setting up for a 3rd over here on the bottom right side of the map. Observer coming in, doing some scouting. And finally throwing up a factory for ThorZaIN back at his base. But really still confused about that SCV cutting. He drastically cut SCVs for the longest time. I'm assuming it was just because he wanted to go for some type of attack there, just sacrificing those SCVs for the short term just to get units out a little bit quicker. But I mean, at this point, MC is just really far ahead. It just has so many Zealots, so many sentries, And 2 Colossus out with the range upgrade even. This is just not looking good. And then MC just chasing this army around with that Observer. And it's just a matter of time, I think, until MC just ends it at this point. I really don't see ThorZaIN getting back in this at all unless he can't do drops because he doesn't have medevacs, and it's going to be a while until he gets them. Starport only halfway finished reactor. Going to make on this factory, swap that out onto that starport to make some Vikings. Not quite sure if he actually sees the Colossus yet. He hasn't scouted out this robotics bay, but there are 3 Colossus out right now. We'll see what the magic number is for MC before he actually pushes out to attack. A 3rd is being built here for ThorZaIN, but it's very far behind MC's. MC's is just about to finish. There it is, just now finishing. And ThorZaIN trying to get a really nice concave here, spreading out his units, getting ready for a counterattack, but not one is coming yet. Charge on the way, +1 attack on the way. Another Colossus coming out. 3 probes being produced, so MC just constantly making probes. Look at that, 61 probes versus 45 SCVs. MC is such a huge lead right now. And let's check the old army tab out. 4,800 minerals, 2,200 gas for MC, and only 2,700 minerals. Not even 1,000 gas spent on army yet. And MC's army is just looking pretty fierce. We have ThorZaIN. Looks like he's actually going to go for a drop now and come over here from the right. Probably try to break in these destructible rocks. Gonna go at the same time. MC's pushing out. This could actually be pretty bad for MC. He could take a pretty big loss, but I think he notices it with the probe. He's looking here in the middle, like, where are all the units at? And there's a drop gun coming from the left. He might actually kill his Twilight Count, so that would be a pretty big deal. Get rid of that charge, get rid of his +1 attack upgrade, and MC's now forced to split up his units, sending just Stalkers here to this back area to deal with this. The attack on the right is taking out those rocks. And we'll see if he's actually brought enough, working in some more Stalkers here in the back. And it looks like he's going to eventually clean up all those units and bring in some more Stalkers over here. ThorZaIN may actually take up this expansion. That would be a really nice deal, getting him back in this game. MC now at 185 supply, 123 versus ThorZaIN. He needs to get those Marauders out of there. They did their damage. He needs to get out of there. Zealots do not have charge. He ended up dealing with the charge, canceling that, so that's going to put MC a little bit behind. And ThorZaIN actually is kind of clawing himself back into this game with that. He needs to keep these Marauders alive. Do not go up that ramp. Oh, that is such a bad idea. These guys are left out here to dry, and he needs to do a counterattack, something real quick, just to keep these Marauders, make them actually have a reason for dying. Another big drop going to come in here, working in some Zealots. MC going to try and deal with this drop as quickly as possible. A lot of Stalkers showing up. And he doesn't have Blink yet. He's going to maybe try and pick off some medevacs. Nope, that is just too many Marauders. Looks like MC is going to fall back here, wait for the Colossus to show up to clean that up. And the whole time this is buying ThorZaIN just time to get his 3rd up and going. He's going to kill the expansion? Or the main? He's going to kill the main. Oh my god, he just killed the main, and he has to get out of there. But I think those too many Stalkers, he's going to lose all the medevacs. And he just sacrificed a lot of Marauders for that expansion. Well, actually, sorry, that main again, but I think... wow, I can't believe he actually did that much damage. So MC now just mining off 1 base at his expansion, and ThorZaIN with just this pressure is still managing to stay in the game. And MC at any point could just attack and I think just win the game. 3 DTs out now, crossing the map. And MC with 5 Colossus, and let me just pull up the units tab here. 27 Zealots and only 5 Stalkers. Wow, he just lost so many Stalkers. Not really needing the Stalkers at this point. All they has to deal with is Vikings. Only 4 Vikings out. That's not going to be enough, but 4 more being produced. He's going to have 8 Vikings soon enough. ThorZaIN getting a huge amount of anti-Colossus out, and we're going to have a big attack here pretty soon. MC is going to be forced to counterattack. He just lost so many Nexus at this point. He really needs to deal the damage back to his opponent. Going to try and take out the planetary fortress, throwing out some force fields. He cannot repair that. Viking's going to get some cheap shots here on the Colossus. MC quickly moving those Colossus out of range and putting the Stalkers up there in front. He's going to take out the planetary, and that's going to fall, and ThorZaIN is just going to let that die, figuring it's probably better to let that die, build up some forces, get some more Vikings out, build some more Marauders before he goes for this attack. So taking a strategic move there, sacrificing the expansion to buy himself some more time. And MC deciding not even to rebuild here to his main. Probably going to save that. Yep, actually going to build his 3rd now, aka 4th over here on the far right side of the map. Probably a smart move. Really don't need to mine anything else over here except for just a little bit of gas, but it's not even that much. Only about 1,600 between the two. And MC is kind of going to relocate. Double upgrades on the way, +1/+1 for MC, and we may see him attack as soon as those finish. But he's been keeping a constant eye on his opponent, ThorZaIN. He knows what's going on here. He sees all those Marauders, which are just +1 attack upgrades. on those guys, and MC has got a huge amount of stalkers over here on the left. Just going to come clean out these destructible rocks. And blinking some stalkers up here to the main. Maybe he's fearing a drop, not quite sure, but he's going to hang out over here in his main with these stalkers. And it looks like the drop is being prepared. Does he see this? Oh, he's going to get this. Oh, wow. ThorZaIN quickly turns around, sees that, does not fall for it, and does not lose an entire 2 medevacks full of Marauders. That could have went extremely bad. And how did MC see that? Did he have an observer? Not quite sure if he has an observer or not. He's looking over here. This guy sees it, but maybe he saw him run back to his base. That would definitely have been that signal that he's going to try and go for a drop. But ThorZaIN, look at all these units just ready to do something over here. Looks like he's going to go reposition out the front of his base. MC now taking in the gold, and ThorZaIN losing position of the middle there. He doesn't have the Zelnaga Tower vision. That Zealot did take it over. And we got double upgrades still going on the way here. +2, +2. We just had a scan there from ThorZaIN, so he sees the upgrades coming. That's probably going to scare him a little bit because he's very far behind in upgrades, only getting his +2 attack on the way. DT's still crossing the map here, going to go do some more harassing. And just work on those Marauders. Get a couple hits in there. Scan gonna go down. Actually, not gonna see the. Well, actually getting the Observer and the DT. So that was a great scan there by ThorZaIN, clearing out both those units. And MC sitting in another DT, just forcing ThorZaIN to waste so many scans. And that was another scan down, another DT. Bites the dust. Gold finally now going back up for ThorZaIN. And it looks like ThorZaIN is going to go for an attack. But there are just so many Colossus. Stalkers beacon up there to the front. So many Vikings going to take those Colossus out so fast. Zealots over there up in the front, pushing over there to the left. But the Vikings looks like they're eventually going to fall. 3 Colossi still living. And ThorZaIN with some really nice stutter step micro going to finish off the rest of the Colossus, but losing so many Marauder at this point. More units being warped in, a lot of Stalkers being warped in, and now ThorZaIN is in a full retreat. MC is actually GG right there. ThorZaIN GGing after that fight, and I didn't think ThorZaIN was going to stay in the game this long, but he managed to, with that drop harass on the left, drop harass on the right, took out 2 bases, and that kind of just bought him a little bit more time. But I think before that point, MC was just so far ahead, with just continual probe production. I don't know if ThorZaIN's macro failed or I don't know what actually happened there, but MC just got a huge lead and managed to fight off that first attack from ThorZaIN with some reinforcements from the pylon, some really nice force fields, and it just worked out well for MC in the end. And MC's going to take this series 2-0 versus ThorZaIN, our TSL champion. So hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm going to continue to cast as many MLG matches as I can that aren't casted on the stream. So you can check back to my channel at youtube.com/EonShiKeno for more MLG matches. See you guys later.